What's your favourite book?
When I was a child, my favourite book was called Mouse, and it was about a little boy that had a pet mouse, and it made me want to get a pet mouse, but my mum wouldn't let me.
What is your best? What is the best about the writer?
The best thing about being a writer, I think kind of just getting to decide what you do on most days, decide what you write about. That's quite fun.
What is your favourite line in the play? If it has any swears in, please do block it out.
Right, that does take up most of the play. So I think my favourite line is what Kevin says, and I don't know off by heart, but it's labourers don't get early retirement. I've worked myself half to death, and I can't even afford to buy the ground I've worked myself into. I think that kind of speaks to a lot of people in this country, and it's not something I've heard on stage before, so I quite like it.
Why did you choose the person with Down syndrome?
I think because when I was growing up, I knew a lot of people that had Down syndrome around me, and it didn't seem like that big of a deal. And then when I saw people with Down syndrome on TV, the representations of them weren't like the people with Down syndrome that I knew, who were like funny and full of life, and so I just kind of wanted to represent that on stage. But when I write a character with Down syndrome, I don't necessarily change anything about how I write. You just kind of write the character, and then an actor with Down syndrome says the words, and then you've magically written a character with Down syndrome. It's quite easy, really.
Woo! Perfect.